what's going on over there. Yeah. Oh, how the government already monitors how much money's being taken in and out of your bank account, that you can only take less than what, 10,000 out without drawing suspicion. Right, and but the stuff that they're looking to do with crypto, it's like they're doing that with money, with our money right now. Really? And you said that's on wax? Okay. How much is wax? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can see the 350.
Overtime and overdue. Ain't no sleep, that is on news. Been outside, that's with the crew. Make my night up on the move. In the morning, get the news. She come home, I heard the Zoom. I step outside, I need my peace. Take one down and hit my beat.
Oh, bro, I'm on Launch Zone, aka what was that? BSC swap. Yeah, BSCX. Twin. They just partnered with Twin. And they have an APY of 160K.
Count your blessings, count your steps. At your throat like we that strap.
Yeah. I'm just.
All we eat, but we don't mesh. All we eat, can't leave us a mess. Down all my drizzle, it is old news.
Yeah, I was just getting back into it today and going through my old stomping grounds. Man, but what's that? Rake and Brief, just man, that was rough. I don't even know. Yeah, all that's. Right.
She wanna get married tonight, but I can't take it because I'm wearing all white. Me and my bros get twins, but we don't look alike. I don't take naps. Me and the money are way too attached to go and do that. Muscle relax. That in the split put me right on my back. I gotta unpack. Virginia black. I could go make no money.
Oh man, so you don't need to hold rake or grip. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
got all the badges in my rolly bezel. They be asking where I got it. You can't block the magic. You ain't.
What's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf. Let me start that again. What's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here. I really gotta start making sure I start the recording with the intro part in it. Okay, whatever. Today we're here to talk about some crypto and DeFi things, just the entire market, and just a nice little sum up. I feel like we do the regular live streams, but only so often do we get to make video segments and stuff like that. And so for these live streams and video segments, whatnot, I've been talking to my boy about bringing him in to do some of this stuff with us. And so today we got my boy with us, Tone, not Vase. What up, Tone? Out there in the ecosystem, he out there in space floating. We're gonna bring him into the white room with us. Come with us. What's good?
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah. You want to introduce yourself? Actually, I'll go back to you. You want to introduce yourself?
Tone, two-tone, tone the bone, tone the left, whatever you want to call me. Just know I want to get it in. I'm here to talk about my love and my passion for not only our Lord and Savior, but crypto, which I guess those two can go hand in hand depending on how you want to go about that. But for now, I guess you can just call me Sprace Returns. It was a random name on Reddit that I got, and I just stuck with it. So let's go. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, I was just saying thanks for joining us. It'd be nice to have somebody to talk to my DeFi ups and downs and woes and where's nots and what the fuck are you doing Elon's situations, them type of things. Yeah. So we have selected on a nice little list of articles and whatnot to check out for you guys today that we want to cover today. First thing I want to do though, I'm just gonna pop this up on the full screen over here on the other side over there, is the entire market, just checking out the market today. And so, yeah, it's not the best of times in crypto, depending on what you're in, I guess. It's still pretty damn fantastic for me because I got in really early. I don't know how you feeling about it, Tone, from your entry positions.
I've decided. I've been a proponent of diversifying, but I got in. I saw ADA was going dummy and doing what 213 all-time high. How long ago was that? But and then I think they hit that 213 when they announced that they would be able to convert ETH into ADA on their blockchain. So they hit that all-time high. 10 days ago at 245, and then I got in at $1.52, but a little bit of change in there, and now it's up to $1.71. So it's not, it's not too far off from its all-time high, and it's really still just expanding and finding its right place. And right now, I guess there's a race between ETH 2.0 and ADA's expansion, if you know any more about that.
I just what I know about the ADA is just one of those tokens where I should first get my background with ADA. ADA was the first token that I sought to buy in crypto, period, back in 2017. So just did my research like I was earning crypto free back then from the Steam blockchain, writing blog articles and earning whatever I could. And so, since I figured, a good post might make me $20, which it did eventually. And then I started making more after that. But, up until then, it was like, $1 here, 30 cents, 40 cents. And I'm like, what tokens can I even buy in the market with Bitcoin at like $2,000, Ethereum at 90, this and that. What can I even buy? Because that's the prices I was looking at back then. I'm still broke. And it was ADA. They were like, oh, this new token, Cardano is launching, and it's gonna be like 1 cent, 2 cents, or blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, this is a penny stock. Reminds me of like Wolf of Wall Street stuff. They're like penny stocks you can get in, and did my research around, and they're like, this is the only like generation 3 crypto that's currently in the works or whatever, or it's supposed to be working on all this other stuff, working on these layer solutions, like, or working on these issues that Ethereum was going to have. And like
Right.
etc. and things that Ethereum had, but they were just like, it had this long roadmap of like solutions to things, and like, this is what's going to happen at this point, and this is how long we're going to test these things. And so they've just been, they're slow and steady. They test out a lot of stuff, and it just takes them forever to launch things. And so if it doesn't happen during this bull run, I would say because they ran into something with total dropping of smart contracts or something like that, where they decided to roll it back. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to roll out smart contracts this summer in full form. So I believe you can already do some development work and stuff like that with them over on Cardano. Also, NFTs have already launched and stuff like that on Cardano. People just, it's like the first people to get in there are going to be people like myself and other YouTubers and stuff like that are like, really in the crypto scene, and would be like, oh, I have to do it on a command line. Oh, I have to do this or that. And if I want to do it, or, oh, this doesn't look, it's this type of interface, I'm like, fuck it. If I want to be first, then I'm going to try and learn it at least. But yeah, it's going to be those type of people that are in there right now, and myself, that are in there right now, looking at the NFT stuff, getting rich off of NFTs right now. I'm not getting rich off of NFTs. It hasn't been a minute. But people are getting rich off of NFTs in any type of marketplace though there right now. Not everybody, but that's just like the type of ecosystem. So enough about that. Another one of our topics of the day, I think, as you were alluding to earlier during the opening of things, was some Doge talk. And Doge is still still in the top 10 cryptocurrencies. I'm like, ugh, it's okay. I don't really care that Doge is in the top 10. It's just, for me, it's the whole, and like, this is the Elon memes portion of the title as well. It's because for me, it's like, Doge it is what it is, but it needs development. And like, cool, if you're gonna develop it, but then it's like, of all the currencies, guys, when people are talking about like speculation and stuff, this is a total speculative token, down and 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 down. Like, there's no way around it. It's just straight up meme and speculation. Like, even if they want to get more serious with it, it's speculation around, can they do it right? Because there's tons of DeFi projects out there, tokens, whatever the heck, that have not done it right, and they've been trying to do it right longer than Doge and are more serious than Doge. And so Doge just flipping the script and trying to be serious when Elon Musk is making tweets where it makes it sound like he doesn't actually understand the environmental impacts of Bitcoin and the banking system and all this other stuff, and like how it actually works, and decentralization of some of these tokens, including Doge, which he's the CEO of. I'm like, you don't understand that Doge is like not decentralized, with these few wallets having the vast majority of Doge. They could dump like 50% on the market anytime, and you don't even know who they are, Elon? You thought they were exchanges? It's problematic, Elon. It's also problematic that when we talk about all these tokens and Ethereum becoming a deflationary, and people like BNB because, halfnings, and Bitcoin because we got an infinity sign here. Let's go up on the infinity. It's like, that's not good for anybody. That's like the worst farm that we'd want, because there's no burning mechanisms to Doge.
Right.
Yeah, so like, that's the other thing, guys. Like, all the other farms, like, they're like, oh, we'll burn some when you're talking about DeFi farms and stuff like that. After you start getting into farming and you start realizing, I feel like Mark Cuban is somebody that people should be following for crypto right now way more than Elon Musk, because when he talks about things like Doge, he talks about it for learning the fundamentals of crypto and some of that stuff like that. If you want to learn about price swings and this and that with a volatile asset, sure, this is fun, it's cheap. You can go around and play around with this one, and it has the whole ecosystem and stuff like that built on top of it. If you want to learn about like the actual financial structure and like supply and demand of a token, more so than, because Doge is like the most simplistic form of supply and demand. Lots of people want it because hype, price goes up. Hype die down, since it's minting to infinity, price go down, like, because you're still producing it. It's that simple. But with other farms and stuff like that, you start to realize more so like what they're doing with the United States dollar, in terms of things. It's like, that's more like almost like a Doge, where it does have a burning aspect, though. You're not supposed to burn the dollar, but a certain amount are taken out of circulation for this or that reason, or locked in vaults and things like that. Those type of things actually do exist with the United States dollar. However, the amount of printing is too much to be dealt with. It would be like seeing one of the worst farms on Binance Smart Chain, it would be like, let me go to one of these shitty farms real quick. Let's go to some type of shitty farm. I'm just typing in this one. Because I remember, I'm like, this is like one that I was looking at. I'm like, I think this is going to be awful. Oh, it's still $4. Look at that. It started at like 60, something like that. This is an idea of a token, and they can't even mint a bunch because I imagine people, I don't even know if it's going at this point. But this would be like the idea of a token that's not really what you want. Within less than a month of this token being around, we have 65,000 of it created in circulation. So if we go for 12 months or a full month, we're going to have over 100,000 of this token. We're looking at over 1 million within. It's just, and this one's not even like, I'm like, I could have found way worse than this token. This is not even the best example. But it's kind of like what we see with the United States dollar. Mass printing, and it's let me not even get on the United States dollar topic because I only wanted to roll into that just because I'm like, yeah, once you start messing with DeFi and realizing, or crypto in general, and start understanding more of supply and demand with markets, understanding burn rates, or like what locking up some type of asset does to the value of it, because you start to see it so often that you go, how does this not extend across the market? And you look at stocks and other assets, and it does. And so, you know, when the United States dollar does something completely contrary to these type of things, you go, what the fuck, and / what's happening. And so just food for the brain there. I need to just pause for a second, give my boy Tone a second to pipe in on that, or yeah, we'll start with that, I guess. A second portion of that.
On Doge?
I don't know. Do you have any comments on the Doge, on the Elon recently? Because I guess my point was just like, I feel like he's leading people down the wrong path. Like, sure, to some type of crypto adoption, which is great, but not truly to understanding. It's like which is totally American to be promoting out in the world. It's like, yeah, a society of people that kind of like, it's like this arrogance type of like, meme this a lot. We have this technology. You like, it's ugly when I think about it.
Yeah, I'm not losing any hair over Doge. I'll put it like that. It's not, man. I just as soon as Elon was, what is it? He's a snake oil salesman. He's a multi-level marketing CEO. Yeah. This coin is all about speculation, and it's, I mean, sure, it's good that it's getting retail customers in the door, but they're soon to walk away with nothing because they're treating crypto like it's stocks, and while that's good, that's all fine and dandy, it's much more than that, and it's much more profitable if you're not just constantly hodling to play a swing or waiting for someone to announce something. It's more about the projects and the team behind it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Before we go on to the next portion of what this and the actually want to say like a monetary type of portion for things. I did mention I also shared something recently with one of my buddies in Discord, a member of Money Match Gaming's community who's become more and more into crypto and stocks lately. But I shared something with him about from Robert Kiyosaki, so the writer of Rich Dad Poor Dad, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, detailing his life and understanding of the financial institution and how to generate wealth. And so what he shared recently in this one video were these 3 types of investors that he feels like makes up the market currently. And I told him, boy, I wasn't trying to like throw salt or anything like that, but I was like the way that you're kind of performing right now, and like I'm like, you tell me what you think. I feel like you're like the bottom one that he mentions, which is like the speculative investor. There was there was a normal investor, so just a investor, kind of like a hodl or something like that. You invest and then maybe you flip, and then there was the trader. It was like a day trader type of situation. You make money off of the market going up or down. Maybe you do leverage margin trading or something like that. But you trade in a way that you make money off of the market, whether it's going up or down. And then there was a speculative speculative investor, which is the investor that most likely like tries to, you see green candles popping off and you're like, all right, let me find out which one of these things is most likely to pop up, and you jump in that thing and you kind of just wait for, hope that project pops off. If you're jumping into Bitcoin right now or Ethereum, you're like, hopefully this one pops off because there's a lot of news around it, and once it pops off, maybe I'll sell it. And that's the speculative investor, where they don't fall into necessarily the top category, and they definitely don't fall into the second category. Whereas a lot of crypto OGs, or just people that have been longer than the last year, are more so likely to fall into the first and second category, and also dip into the third category with profits that they've made somewhere along the line, which only fuels that area and makes those new speculators feel like, oh shit, Moon, Lambo. But at the same time, the people that you're playing that game of Moon Lambo with, are used to making money whether the market goes up or down, and they have a bag that they're holding regardless. And so when you sell at that low price they held, and they made, whether it went up or down the entire time, so they had a bag they were holding. And so like that's kind of happening with that type of system. Yeah, I totally can go with that one. But interesting. I want to move over to off of that, unless Tone has anything you want to say. I want to move. But yeah. Next, I kind of want to touch on it's been a hot topic lately. It's been a hot topic. And the topic is, oops, let me get rid of this thing. Is Bitcoin actually bad for the environment? Are NFTs actually bad for the environment? And so you could say it's a tricky answer, right? You could be like, oh, this or that. And it's like, sure, it produces a carbon footprint depending on how you do it, the same way that your house does when you turn on the electricity or the stove. Yeah, guys. So you really need to compare it to things like, get more abroad, because I feel like the media perspective is they're trying to pitch a certain story. And I've said many times before, I feel like there's depending on who you're looking at, and especially if you're looking at artists and stuff like that, or artists that are into the digital scene, they're like, wow, wealth transfer, digital gold land grab and stuff like that for artists. Meanwhile, if you listen to the media, if you listen to any news source, what's their main topic on NFTs? How bad they are for the environment. They don't want to talk about anything else but how bad they are for the environment, trying to convince the art community, these typically broke people, that they should not invest in that. Meanwhile, the Gary V's of the world, the actual millionaires that have anything to do with it, that are Gary V, like nothing against them, but he's got like a book of scribbles that he did, like very crude drawings and stuff. And it's his artistic style, so I can't hate on him or something. But like, there's better artists out there, like really good artists and stuff like that. And a lot of them have never even touched a damn NFT because they are being so shunned away from it, from all this media that's like, it's bad for the environment and this and that. The majority of NFTs are being minted on Ethereum. I would like to see the actual statistics on where the majority of NFTs are currently being minted, because I don't really know that they're all being minted on, like the majority truly still being minted on Ethereum. I don't know that that's the case over the last 2-3 months. Not with things like Polygon coming out, Cardano, Binance Smart Chain, Wax blockchain, and EOS, all these other blockchains where you can mint for nothing compared to ETH. And you know why? Because they're on proof of stake chains and different type of blockchains that have nothing to do with this mining type of system that Bitcoin has or that Ethereum has, those type of issues that are bigger environmental impacts, but they have nothing to do with that. And the media either has no knowledge of this, either they just lack that research when they care to look into these topics, where they didn't look into any of these other blockchains, one of which, Mark Cuban, huge investor in the United States. You should probably be paying attention to what he's doing then, right? If you're fucking media and you're reporting on this, but you have no idea that he's been investing in Polygon and stuff like that, in those NFTs. Where are you on these topics? Are you just trying to convince the masses that they should not be doing this? The poor masses, the traditionally poor, unfinancially educated masses, which are the artists, that you are convincing should not be doing this. Meanwhile, your Mark Cubans, your Elon Musk, your Gary V's are buying them up en masse and creating their own projects because it's a land grab. Why not stop the people that can actually do it? Why not pay somebody else and put your name on it? So that's where my feelings on that are. And I did some research been doing research around and stuff like that, and there's tons of research coming out. Alameda group, ARC, tons of different groups do research on this. But recently, some stuff emerged, which was just that the banking system. Because other than NFTs bad, and similar to Elon Musk's thing earlier, this going to connect this with the Elon Musk thing. Elon Musk thing, a week or so ago of Bitcoin bad for the environment. We don't want to accept Bitcoin anymore because bad for the environment. It's like, you accept United States dollars. I saw an NFT artist that was like, I don't want your this and that. I want your United States dollars, or this other than crypto. And I'm like, bro, depending on which crypto, you sound like a fool because it's actually cheaper and better for the environment. I'm like, flat out. You can't make that argument when you're accepting paper fucking money, you fool. Like, when you're drawing on paper, when you're sending paper, when you're investing gas mileage for those things, you sound like a fool. You're actually spending and hurting the environment so much more than moving along to the new cutting edge thing type of thing because you heard some type of news segment or whatever the fuck. And so it's like the research done most recently, I think this is like a day old article or like 8 hours, something like that. United States banking system, not the world. The United States banking system is 10 times more pollutive than Bitcoin. We got about 4 or 5 institutions that pollute more and invested more, about 5-10 times more in the projects that polluted more than just Bitcoin. But it's a problem. It's a problem though, right, guys? Same thing for the United States dollar. Same thing for the United States dollar. The amount that we take to print and transfer the United States dollar to each other is actually more harmful. It's more harmful, but you don't care about that. You care about, they told me NFTs are bad because of electricity. And you didn't look into any other side chains, and I'm not talking about you or whoever. It's just like, people, the naysayers that really don't look up anything more so than the Fox News or the CNBC or whatever the fuck news segment. It's like, you just have to do more research. It hurts me when I know so many good artists and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, because I can't do some of the stuff y'all can do. And you just like, you're listening to who? The rich man? That didn't listen to Bitcoin people talking about you should buy some at 2,000 because he's rich? And he don't need it, and you still listening to him. Like, ouch, 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 ouch. So I thought that was something worth pointing out, which was again just that. Let me go through some of these. Banking on climate collapses. So there was a group of, or not a group, more than 312 activist organizations from 50 countries around the world that signed this type of global petition for this, or whatever the work was for this this study that found these numbers. 57%, whatchamacallit, Bitcoin blockchain are estimated to be around 50 million metric tons. Which is over, and it might be a good idea for Tesla to stop receiving U.S. dollar, which is 10 times more polluted. Yeah, so it's just like the 57 million metric tons of energy that Bitcoin uses up in the year is outdone by just the United States dollar 10x. Fuck the rest of the banking system. Fuck all your paperwork and stuff like that. We're not even talking about that stuff. We're not talking about the buildings. We're not talking about the people going to work, because people don't have to do that for blockchain. They're not polluting the fucking city to get to work, to the bank in the morning, in traffic hour and all that other crazy shit. But these are things that people don't normally consider. And the other portion of that is this, that Elon Musk changed his doggy horse and said, oh, maybe we'll work on the side of Bitcoin lately. Maybe we'll change our, actually renewable energy. It's like, motherfucker, excuse my French. You already posted stuff about the renewable energy. We can go back to your tweets from a month ago. You talking to Jack Dorsey and other people, ARK Investment, about how you're already working with Tesla to do renewable energy with Bitcoin. You've already visited, like, is the pieces are there. So why would you FUD it like that and then continue to hype Doge? I don't know. What did happen though is, with Bitcoin dropping like this, amongst other things, Doge did gain on Satoshi value versus Bitcoin. So that is something that happened, because Doge is still up in that 30-cent range, which it was not before Bitcoin was ever at 36, whatever the heck thousands. So Doge is at a new all-time high compared to Satoshi. So those type of things do exist. But it's like, yeah, it seems really scammy and stuff like that. And, you know, you're one of my more entrepreneur heroes, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about in crypto right now, and it's hurting people. And I wish he'd shut the fuck up. So I'm like, yo, you just sound so uneducated on this topic. You can make rockets and shit, and like have these schools where people solve problems and like learn in new ways, and you can't solve this shit. You can't, like, you're gonna fud some stuff that you've already been working on. Like, the hell is this? Yeah, it just is wild. It's absurdly wild, and I wish more people try to put the pieces of the puzzle together to figure out why is something gonna go back up after somebody just flooded that. I don't know. We'll figure it out, right? Sure. Like, what other title things do we have today? Facts, says Johan. Yeah, bruh. Just trying to lay out some facts. Yeah. I don't know. Anything from you on that before we roll?
Oh, just yeah. Nothing you said I disagreed with.
You know, yeah. It's there's I'm like the hard topics because again I'm like, man, you're like one of my heroes. You know, it's like I'm like, you, Diddy, y'all just do things on a different. And then, you know, I feel like Diddy would never say something so stupid like that. You made yourself a little Kanye-ish right there. Still a hero, but a Kanye, bro. So yeah, that's how I felt like that. I feel like you just took yourself down to Kanye level. So keep with the memes and go space. Like, I'd love to meet you so I could say something better than that. Like, yeah, hey, you've done some great work and stuff like that. Why the Bitcoin shit though? Why the FUD? Because I would have to ask him why the FUD. Like, when you actually work on some other stuff, when you're actually working on renewable energy with your next Tesla wall panels, like, why the FUD then? When your Tesla models right now are working with Ethereum mining, why the FUD? I don't know. There's a lot to be doing already to be flooding the project, Elon. So it seemed like maybe you and a bunch of other people just wanted the market to go down so that you could fucking get it for a cheaper price, make Doge gain on Satoshi value, whatever fucking type of market manipulation type of shit that normal people don't understand and realize happens when you tweet and this and that. But they're starting to understand more with the internet age. They still just don't know how to connect all the pieces and figure it to more than China's flooding the market. It's China. No. Okay. Let's go forward. Mentioned it before, Mark Cuban and Polygon, really quick one. Again, investors I feel like people could probably be listening to more so in these type of times as Mark Cuban. So guy who didn't invest in Dogecoin, but his statements about Dogecoin were much more realistic and something that you probably hear from an actual investor, you know, which is that, like, yeah, don't go gung-ho in fucking Dogecoin. It might go up, but it's really just fun money. It's truly just, it's fun to play around with. You can speculate on it. You know, it's minted to whatever. You can learn to mine and all these other things of crypto with this fun asset. And, you know, sure, we'll accept it. You know why they would accept it? They're not going to hold Dogecoin when they accept it, guys. You can take a currency and immediately swap it for United States dollars. And that's how businesses accept cryptocurrency. I tried to explain this to a company that I worked for years ago, where I was like, yo, we should maybe start accepting some Bitcoin. And he was like, oh, I don't know about holding Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, well, we can hold a small percentage if we wanted to, but truly, you can just sell it immediately. And he's like, well, the market's so volatile. I'm like, y'all don't want to make money. That's it. That's it. You don't want to make money. You know, but now you want to make money. You want to make money now that PayPal says it's okay. Now that Twitter says it's okay. And now that Apple says it's okay today. Venmo. Now the Apple today, Apple making their move because Elon moved the price back down to Elon levels, back to where he bought, not Michael Saylor levels, but back down to around Elon levels bought. And so we got other big companies jumping in because that's a buy. Why would Apple just start? Why wouldn't they wait? That's a big fucking company. I don't know.
That's what they were waiting for.
I don't know. Everybody seemed to be buying around these $30,000 levels. I don't know. These big companies, billions of dollars. Oh, also, we found out over the weekend, big companies, these big investors were also buying up a few specific cryptocurrencies. They were buying up Ethereum. They were buying up ADA, Cardano. They were buying up Link. They were buying up Polygon. Why were they buying up these specific tokens? And Polkadot. I left Polkadot off the list. My bad. Polkadot. but these seem to be the biggest ones moving. So not to move too far off of that topic with these big investors and stuff like that, because I do want to keep this in the Mark Cuban bubble for just a second. So this whole thing still being around Mark Cuban, and though he did mention Doge and stuff like that previously, he's also talked about Ethereum, Bitcoin. He mentions all these and has sound opinions. Doesn't sound like a crazy lunatic, or like he's just going to talk about some shit that he doesn't. I mean, sometimes they do talk about things they don't understand, but they catch up. Bless their hearts. But was recently talking about Polygon, Matic. So for OGs, probably used to be called Matic. If you're looking it up on the network, yeah, Matic is now the token, and it's now known as Polygon. So it's Polygon Matic, and they have both symbols there because they don't want to confuse people in the meantime while they're still rebranding. But this is a token up 32% today. Wow, what the fuck is up 32% in today's market, y'all? You know who bought Matic over the weekend? This guy, the guy with the thumb. Because it was down a lot and it's a good project. And when you're an investor and a trader and you're not just a speculator, when you want to fill back up your bags, you want to look for those projects that have long-term value and are actually solving issues. So when we know that Ethereum has, and Mark Cuban was saying this too, which is why I was mentioning him, everybody knows that Ethereum has scaling issues, and Ethereum is also working on fixing those scaling issues, fixing the gas prices, etc. And that should all be rolling out this summer for the next part of the solution of it. These solutions typically never solve everything, but they start to solve little increments of things. And so that next part of the scaling solution is supposed to be rolling out this summer. So Mark Cuban knows this, but in the meantime, these side chains, these layer 2 chains, are becoming more and more popular and useful as ways for people to communicate with, or developers, applications, games. Think about, like I was talking to my boy before we started, Tone, and I was like, this game Hodl God is being built on Unity, which the Unreal Engine, and it looks great and this and that. And a lot of these new games and stuff like that come out are going to be using things like Polygon. Like they'll have NFTs as part of their collection. Those NFTs will be able to be on Ethereum blockchain, but for game transactions of tokens, you don't want to send, like, you do want users to be able to send the NFT back and forth between each other. You do want users to be able to swap tokens between each other, make a whole game ecosystem out of it, have fun and stuff like that. You can't do that on Ethereum with the price consistently moving. Like, if it moves anything, like even $6 is too much to swap an item between somebody, and then the item itself, that's like an extreme tax. That you might end up paying more than once because you got to confirm the damn thing. If you know about like Binance Smart Chain transactions, imagine maybe a lot of people are used to Binance Smart Chain. You've never actually used Ethereum for DeFi. Imagine a world where you have to confirm the fucking transaction or enable the farm and then go into the next. It's like, Jesus. Okay, so I spent $150 on a good day to get into this farm for this one asset. That's not even talking about pairing it up and stuff like that. You got to pair it, trade it, stake it together, or, put the liquidity pairs. Good God. You know what I'm saying? So when you're on something like Matic, you have some experience with that now, Tone. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that would be like doing just a normal, what is that? Swap and then a pair, and that'd be what, like $50 on Ethereum? Yep.
And it's like, some people, you can do it. And if you've been playing in the Ethereum DeFi game and stuff like that, you got Ethereum money. So you can play around in that game. It takes money to make money truly in crypto with these type of DeFi games and stuff like that. And you can lose it by investing in a bad project or investing at the wrong time. And so it becomes that much more dangerous with it or risky. But that said, with things like Matic here, the layer 2 solutions, I've only been on Matic for about a month. And my first experience with Matic was revolutionary. Just because, like, not only have, in this month, I feel like, anytime you're early to a platform, there's tons of tokens. You can basically just buy up anything. And then, half your bag is going to shoot the fuck up, like 100%. But other than that type of stuff, when I was making my first transactions on Matic, I messed up with some things. And I bought some Matic on Coinbase and shot it over to my Ethereum wallet and lost it for a week or so, thinking that I had actually lost it, and I needed to add a token in there, and it took it a while to send over with Ethereum transaction times. And so it took me a while, whatever the heck. And so in the meantime, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to bridge some Ethereum over to Matic and get my stuff started. And they give you a little free Matic when you make an account.
Mhm.
And so I finally got my Ethereum bridged over, and it was just straight up Ethereum over there. And I was like, damn, I need some Matic though for transactions. But they give you like zero point zero 0.01 or zero point 0.1 Matic or something like that to start off, which is generous. That zero point 0.1 Matic lasted me over a week.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I was like, oh. And like, I never ran out. It actually never ran out. I just ended up buying more Matic. I was like, should maybe get some. Maybe I should buy some Matic. So yeah, then I bought some Matic, and we're up over 100% from that buy. So it was a good call. And we're up 32% today. It was a good call. I think Matic might be at a new all-time high or some shit. I don't know. We're really close. All-time high, 15% away, 262. Yeah. So that's layer twos. That's the power of them. It's really with these transactions and stuff like that being nice and cheap. What up, Fruit? aka my boy Sma. Yeah. Let me see what else do I have in the list today, and anything you wanted to say in between while I'm looking at.
Nothing. I just want to say thanks for having me. I'm gonna need to slide out of here in a minute.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. No problem. I only have one last topic that I want to cover anyways. Cool. So yeah, we got one last topic. And that was, we can keep it brief. And that was just, I don't know if you've seen anything about it. One of my boys hit me up about it today, and then this morning, and then I actually read a full article about it unknowingly, because I was looking into one. I'm like, oh, this is actually the same exact thing. But he was saying Ethereum. He was saying GameStop is getting into Ethereum. Is what he was telling me. He's like, oh, GameStop getting into Ethereum. Blah blah blah. Have you seen anything on that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like, GameStop is getting into Ethereum, blah 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 blah, and so I guess there's a new domain out there. It's GameStop.com or NFT.GameStop.com. So supposedly NFT platform out there from GameStop, which is not yet to be officially announced, but looks like maybe GameStop. When I say maybe, because we need those official announcements and stuff like that. Looks like maybe GameStop is moving into the NFT space. How would they run that? Who knows?
But what kind of license, or what would that do for their current contracts with video games? Whether they make a Halo NFT or a Call of Duty, Apex.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it. I think a company like GameStop, that's more of they're used to selling the game itself. I think maybe they try to move into that route or something like that. Honestly, if they were creative enough, I think you look into something like, how do we create a Netflix or whatever the fuck of NFTs, of NFT games, or like access codes or whatever the fuck to those games. I think if they were creative enough, you do something like that. I don't think they're quite there. I don't think they're quite there to put that through. I really don't think they did that. I think they probably are going to do something like, when you buy this or that game, you get this NFT with it, or certain games, when you get that game, when that game is released, if you buy it through GameStop, you get this NFT or something such and such. Like, there's certain games that are already released like that, where there's the hardcovers or this or that, and the boxes and all that crazy shit that already exists with them. And I think this is another form of that, where you could trade and have that game clout and maybe get access to something in the game, because all these games are being attached to blockchain and stuff like that, whether or not, most folks know it. Microsoft, all these companies and stuff, like, they're in there. they're letting it really find its way out. Ubisoft. I'm like looking at some Ubisoft games. They already got games they're working on with people. They're collaborating with people. Games that are coming out. He's just like, he's not talking about it like that. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I think that's the direction they'd be going with it. I think, like, collectibles for games. But yeah, that's it for today's Degen update. My boy Tone here with me again. Thank you for joining us. Do you want to try to have him on the show with us and just get some other voice and opinion, trying to scoop out some nice crypto articles for y'all and give y'all an update on things in the Degen world.
Yeah, I will be better prepared and have a full slate of things to talk about.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us again, and we out.